Welcome to a coding challenge where I really need I don't know when you're watching this, in the future, in the past, on a spaceship, on your phone, but I need some good vibes right now. I'm going to try to make, this is going to be a hard one for me. I'm going to make a Chrome extension that allows you to, on any web page, like this Steam Locomotive Wikipedia page, select some text and look up the definition of a word that you've selected. I'm going to use the Wordnik API, and I'm going to have the definition appear in a pop-up. Now, we could make some case that this is not like the most thoughtful and elegant user interaction. And so my challenge for you after I do this is there's probably a nicer way to do this. Like select, should you actually just have the definition pop up right there? What's a more elegant user interaction? I can't even think of it. But the reason why I want to do this is because this particular idea requires all the pieces that I've shown you in my tutorials. It requires a content script. A content script, it knows about the page, is going to be able to listen for the event of me selecting some text. It requires a pop-up because I say so, because I want to show the definition in the pop-up. So in theory, all that it requires is the content script and the pop-up, because why not just send a message from the content script to the pop-up? The problem is, I can't guarantee that the pop-up is open. I probably could open the pop-up automatically. So I'm not going to open the pop-up automatically. That's a challenge to you if that's even possible. I'm going to select the text. I'm going to send the selected text to the background script. By the way, I was talking about this earlier. That's why this whiteboard already has some notes about this. Then the background script is going to hold on to that selected text. The pop-up is going to get it from the background script. It's going to go out to Wordnik, and it's going to show the results. All right? I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to do it. All right, so let's work on this. I'm going to open up my chat that's going here just in case anybody can help me out. The first thing I might need from the chat is how I get the selected text in the content script. But actually, before I even get to that, let me look at what's going on here. So I need a content script. I've got that. Permissions, tabs, that actually might be unnecessary. So let's just take that out right now. I don't think I'm using that. I need a browser action, which is going to look up a definition. So I'm going to put that as a little message, definition. And then I need a background script. Is this right? Background.js. Is it script? Is it scripts? Something is definitely wrong here. Ooh, boy. No, not an array, an object, right? Oh, let's just look at one of my previous ones. Background scripts. Oh boy, I had it way wrong. I was way wrong. Okay, so adding a background script, I need background, which has scripts, and then an array of JavaScript files that are part of the background script. Okay, so now I have a background script, and by the way, the code base that I'm starting with is from the end of my pop-ups tutorial. So I'll link to that video in this description. So if you actually want to what's the code that I started with, you can watch that video, and wherever I ended, that's this code. Okay, but there's very little in it. The web page, the pop-up has nothing in it. I'm using the P5 library, so just setup and no canvas. The background script, it actually has some code in it from a while ago, which I think I'm going to get rid of because that's no longer relevant. I'm going to leave the, so here we go. And the content script has some other code as well. So I'm going to actually get rid of all this. It's a very terrible idea. So first, let me at least get the selected text in the content script. Okay, so I think I want to say like document dot event. What is it? Somebody told me document dot get selection, a mouse up. I want the mouse up event in the content script. All right, so by the way, in the chat I'm being told a better way of doing this would be when you open the pop-up, send a message to the content script asking for the selected word, and then send that back. So that's actually true. I'm going to still do this in a ridiculous way because I want to show you some other pieces of how you can have the background and the pop-up talk to each other, but that is a better way to do it. You should fix my code after I'm done. So the first thing that I need is window.add event listener. This is a way for me to listen for by the way, I'm looking at the chat here as people are giving me some of this code here. Mouse up. And then I need a callback, which I could write in a fancy way, but I'm just going to say moused up. Function, worst name ever for a function. So now, if that event happens, what I want to do is get the selection. So I want to say the selected text is window dot, I think it's just got get selection. Let me just console log that. So what this should do is get the, all I should see is a console log of what's been selected. Yeah, and I like this. Word selected. It's going to be a problem if you select more than a word, but that was a good name. Thank you, Simon. All right. Window.getSelection. Okay. So now, I've got to load my extension. Load my extension. Wordnik. It's called Wordnik. It's working. I mean, it's there. I'm going to go to this page. I'm going to open up the console, and I'm going to listen for this. That event is not happening. Well, let's just see if this has even happened. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. The window.getSelection must be wrong. Let's see at least if like, let me just console log word selected. I'm sure window.getSelection is totally wrong. So let me reload the extension. Yeah. Oh, and I'm having a weird thing where I'm either not reloading or refreshing properly because I'm getting more stuff happen. So word selected, and then, so you can see here that the selection is this whole elaborate object thing, and I just spent some time, which you might have watched or I might have edited out, I'm not sure, of me trying to like find the text in there. But thank you, I just realized, thank you to Alka in the chat, that I can actually just say toString. And what that's going to do, it's going to take the selected text, instead of giving me the full object about the selection, it's just going to give me the actual text and put it right there. So let's go back, reload this extension, refresh the page, select and, there we go, and we're middle, right? You can see that I'm getting stuff selected. Wonderful. Okay, now what I need to do is once I've selected something, I want to send this information to the background page. Okay, so first thing, let's get rid of this console log. And let me first check if selected text.length is greater than 0. So I could have a mouse up where there's no actual selected text. So I want to make sure there's at least something there. And then I need to send a message. I'm looking for my notes about all the different ways to do things. In a content script, if I want to send a message, all I need to do, I think I could just do, because I don't need to send it to a tab, I want to send it to the background script, I can probably use chrome.runtime. Okay, so all I need, I was right. I am right, I think. I just need to say chrome.runtime send message. This is a generic way. And is runtime lowercase? Let me look at a note somewhere. Lowercase, yeah. So this is a generic way to just send a message, and it's going to go to the background script. And I can make the message an object, and I could say the text is selected text. So I want to send that message. So now what I'm doing is whenever I select a word, send that message to the background script. Okay. We're sending a message to the background script. So now I need to write some code in the background script to receive the message. And I have that somewhere. I'm pretty sure, actually, this is the easy part because I can use chrome.runtime.onMessage add listener receiver. So I'm going to write a function called receiver, which is going to, so I now want the background script to just listen for messages. So I need to add a listener, and that function receiver, it takes a bunch of arguments, like the request, the sender, and the send response, because if you want to send something back. But all I really need to do is look at what's in the request. So I think I'm just going to say console.log request, because I just want to see what's in there. That's where the message should come in. Okay. Save everything, close a bunch of scripts, save everything, go to extensions, reload, click here. content script has a syntax error. Line 10, I always do this. I really have a problem with JavaScript object notation. There's no semicolon here. I should probably put a semicolon there. Okay, I'm gonna hit refresh. And, oh wait, I have to reload. Oh, boy, how much are you just watching me reload and refresh? Refresh. Okay, so now I'm gonna click this. I see the word majority. Now the question is, if I inspect the background page, there it is. Came in text majority. Yes! So I have now the message from the content script to the background script. Okay. So now in the background script, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do something really kind of terrible. I'm going to say let word equal, and I'm just give it an empty string. I'm going to say word equals request dot, what did I call it? Text. So I'm actually just going to store the result in a global variable. There may be some reason why I don't want to do this, but here's why I'm doing this. Because, and actually let's just put something, I just want to put something in here. I'm just going to put coding train. I'm going to start word because there is a way that I can access variables from a background script from the pop-up without actually sending a message. So in other words, what I can do, so of course what I could do is when I open the pop-up, again, it would make more sense for when I open the pop-up to send a message to say the background script asking for the answer, or more directly, I could just send a message from the pop-up to the content script. So all this background script is kind of unnecessary, but it is a useful trick just to see that I can do this. In the content script, what I can actually do, in the pop-up, what I can actually do is I can say, let word equal chrome.extension.get background page. So if I say, let me actually just say let background bg page. So I can actually access the background page, and then the word is bgpage.word. I think I could just go and access a variable that's within the background page's scope. So something that I've emphasized is that the content script, the background script, the pop-up, they all live with their own scope, but I can access the background script's scope and pull variables out. So let me do that, and all I'm going to do is say create p word. So let's see if I've made a mistake here. Let's see if this is working. And I'm going to close this. I'm going to, reload this. I'm going to refresh this page, and I'm just going to click the button. Ooh, whoa, undefined. So I did something wrong. So first of all, I forgot that I had some stray code in the index.html. So I'm going to say, call this Wordnik lookup. Get rid of this. So what did I get wrong here? The problem is here, because I'm using let, which is a wonderful thing. Let is a wonderful thing. But let is locally scoped in a much stronger way than the old var thing with this. And I don't want to get into that now. I've got a whole video about let and var. But what I want to do, if I really want to make this global, which is probably a bad idea, I can say window.word. So if I say window.word, and I guess I need to do that here too, window.word, I can put something in a more global scope attached to the window object of the background page. There's actually this secret background page. It's a weird thing, you don't see it, but it's actually a page. And so now what I should be able to do is, once again, reload the page, refresh the page. I might not need to actually refresh. I'm going to select locomotives. I'm going to do this, and then look at that. Locomotives is there. So all I need to do is query Wordnik now. We're in good shape now. I now have, what do I have? I have a content script that listens to me selecting some text. It sends a message to the background script. The background script stores it in a global variable for itself, and the pop-up asks the background script for its variable. Again, not a really sort of awkward, inelegant way of doing this, but to show all these pieces. I could have said var word, by the way, but the reason why I'm saying window.word, and actually, I want to, once I do that, I can probably just do this, right? I'm saying window.word because I want to avoid using var, which is sort of silly. Okay, a couple things. One is I should trim the text, because it can sometimes end up having like white space and stuff in it. So I'm going to call .trim, which will get rid of any extra like weird white space stuff. And now what I need to do is look up the stuff on Wordnik. So this is a little bit out of the, so let's go to the Wordnik. So I'm going to go to the Wordnik API. And I'm going to go to the documentation. What I want is the definition of a word. So if I look up a word, I can ask for its definitions. And let's say I'm looking up the word apple, and I just want one definition. I don't care about part of speech, include related. I don't need include related. And I'll take all the sources, whatever. So I'm going to try it out. So this is the call. This is the request URL that I need. And then the definition is in an array. Oh boy. Oh boy. The definition is in an array, and it comes under text. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this request URL, and what I can do in the sketch here, I can say let URL equal. Can you guys hear the people talking in the hallway? And actually, all I need to do is, what I need is, I'm going to split this into two. Because what I want, ooh, what happened here? Oh, what I need is to put the word in between. So this is a kind of awkward way of doing this, but I need to form this big URL. All right, I'm going to attempt to use a new feature that's part of JavaScript ES6, which allows me to form a string by embedding the variable inside the string. And instead of using single quotes, so I'm going to get rid of all of the single quotes. And everything's going to look like a disaster right now. Get rid of all these single quotes. And then I'm going to use backtick. 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 So this is now correct. It's a little bit weirdly syntax highlighted because, so just to emphasize that how this is working, this is kind of useful. I could actually write it like this. Like I can really see all this stuff. So this is really useful to be able to break a URL, break a string over multiple lines. And what I want to come right after here is that's where I had the word apple. So I can now say, I think it's $ bracket, curly brackets word. So $ curly brackets word. This is now like fill in the value of this variable as part of this URL. So I should be able to say load JSON that URL. Then I can have a callback like got data. I can write that function, got data. One of these days I'll start using the arrow syntax and stuff for and anonymous functions for the callbacks, but got data, data. And then now I just want to say create P, data index 0. So if we remember what was here, it's data, it's an array, index 0 dot text. So I just want to get the first definition because I'm only getting one. Data index 0 dot text. So this should be it, right? Now my P5 sketch grabs the word from the background page, forms this long URL to request stuff from Wordnik, uses the P5 load JSON to grab the data and show the result. Okay, here we go. Here we go. There's got to be something wrong here, but so first, reload the page, refresh this page. I'm even going to get find a word to highlight, like number. Didn't work. All right, so let's see where things went wrong. I probably made a mistake in the URL. One way for me to do that is just to put it here in Atom. So let's see. HTTP. Oh, look at this. I got some weird, there's an extra semicolon in there. That's bad. There's also extra spaces. How come my trim didn't get rid of the spaces? So one thing here is, A couple things I need to fix for sure. Let's go back to my code. I had this semicolon in there, which is totally unnecessary, which totally messed everything up. And let's just trim it here also. I thought I trimmed it over there, but I'm going to trim it. Oh, it adds new line at the end of the string? Does it add the new lines? Are the new lines in there? I kind of feel like it's okay. I don't think the new lines are going to be a problem. Okay. Oh, I might need to replace. All right, so I'm being told, breaking news, I'm being told, let's just put this in here to be safe. Replace any new lines with nothing. So I'm just putting this in multiple lines just so I can make it more readable, but obviously it can be on one line. But just in case those new lines are going into the URL and messing it up, let's do that. All right, let's reload the page, refresh here. I am going to select railways, going to click here. Okay, that didn't work, but let's see what happens now. Console, the server is, oh, there's like another semicolon. Look at this, there's another semicolon, right? Unauthorized, because I stuck a silly extra semicolon. So many semicolons. Ooh, that didn't work. Oh, the spaces are because of the new, they're not from the trim. They're from the new line. Oh, these spaces are being added. These are spaces. Oh, I'm really losing. So let's actually make this a regular expression. This is so ridiculous. You know what I'm going to do? So I can fix this, but I probably should just put it all in one line. That would be so much better. This is such a coding train wreck. But what I'm going to do is I'll make a regular expression that takes any new line or any white space. Is new line a white space? Any white space, any amount of white space, and replaces it with nothing. Let's try this. Oh, I need the global. I need the global flag. I need the global. Thank you. Breaking news. I'm being told that I've forgotten that regular expressions, when you use the replace function, they only replace the first thing you find unless you use the global flag. So I'm going to go back to white space, any white space, replace it, and if this doesn't work, I'm putting it all in one line. Okay, you can't stop me. I'm going to put it all in one line. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go reload. And I'm going to go to the steam locomotive page. And I'm going to select locomotive. I press this button. Ah! Oh my goodness! Yeah. A self-propelled vehicle, usually electric or diesel-powered, for pulling or pushing freight or passenger cars on railroad tracks. So now I can go over here, and I can open up and I can see here for early. And one thing that I would like to do is I would just like to say .style, font size, 64. Now I wonder if all I'm doing is changing the pop-up. Do I have to reload the whole? I probably have to reload the whole extension, right? 64 point. Or let's make it like 48 point. Is it text size or font size? I just want it to be bigger. I just want it to be. I assume. Yeah, look at that. So interestingly enough, if I'm just changing the code in the pop-up, I don't actually need to reload the whole extension because it's kind of loading that on the fly, which is weird how that worked. And also, this is not really, how do I make the size bigger? I'm pretty sure that if I want that pop-up to be bigger, to give me more space, it's actually going to dynamically size it based on what it is when the page first loads. But because I'm getting the data from Wordnik later, it's not resizing. So I could probably say body and then do something like width, window resize by. Oh, I could do window resize. So like, I don't know. You guys who know CSS would know this stuff better. Like, can I do something like this? And this has to be in a style tag. And according to my research, According to my excellent research, I don't need to reload the extension. Refresh the page. Yeah, so look at that. There we go. So now I can click on locomotive, and I get that. I can click on America, and I get the United States. I can click on obtain. Now again, this is like the worst, most awkward interaction. Somehow, if you're still watching this video, first of all, thank you. I really appreciate it. This has been a big struggle for me, even though I made an example like this 2 years ago. This was quite hard to do on the fly live, even though you're seeing kind of an edited version of this. I did do this live. But I would like you to think about what is a more elegant interaction. How might you want to augment someone's browsing experience to learn about additional context? So this could actually be a practical tool, or you could just do something kind of goofy, and when you select a word, it shows you maybe it shows you an image associated with that word or something. So I look forward to, I will share some Chrome extensions next time I come back on a live stream of people who have made more elegant interactions. So please write your, send me a link to your Chrome extension in the comments, or tweet me at Schiffman, something like that. But this is certainly the end of this video. Thank you, and good night. Fade out.